What's going on, boys and girls? My name is Michael SK and welcome back to the Labyrinth of Grisaia. So last time, Yuuji was filling in for Asako on her job as 9029 or whatever the fuck, and JB wasn't really happy about that. So it looks like Yuuji is going to start taking the first steps towards being an agent or whatever it is. So let's jump right back into that. I'm actually very surprised I remember what happened last time. So, let's do this, guys. When you're looking for a job, qualifications are usually necessary. And when your chosen line of work involves protecting the interests of a nation from the shadows, the standards are understandably strict. You need results and achievements that demonstrate genuine skill. In other words, it's pretty easy to talk about getting a license, but the actual process isn't quite so simple. It didn't help that I'd lived a somewhat complicated life up to this point. In order to obtain the necessary qualifications, I needed to have at least some educational track record. That was a little weird.
そんなわけで、おめえにはアメリカに渡って学校に通ってもらう。
Oh shit. Isn't it a little late for that at my age?
なーに、学校って言ったって、要は卒業資格がもらえる海軍連校だし。合衆国中のバカとアホとワルを集めたクソダメみてえな学校だ。
So this is basically the same shit that Yuuji had to go through when he was much younger, just probably not as evil.
お前なんか全然ガキで、周りは年上ばっかだ。気にすんな。
Sounds like a pain, man. You're telling me school just sucks.
めんどくせえのが人生だろ。楽しめよ。
These days, you need a CO2 emissions permit to make a bonfire in your own garden. Guess it's no surprise that a professional killer needs to be licensed. Still, it seemed more than a little comical that I needed to go get myself a school diploma as a prerequisite for being permitted to murder people.
いいか、ユージ。兵隊は若い方が喜ばれる。体力的な問題は当然として、よく言えば世間連れをしていなくて、価値観すら定まっていないやつの方が従順な兵士に育つからだ。悪く言えば子供のように単純で騙しやすく、分かりやすい目標を与えればそれに向かうことしか考えない。国ってのはいつだってそんな兵士が欲しいんだよ。
People who haven't lived long enough to get too attached to the world make for more willing heroes, I guess.
嫌な言い方だが、まあそういうことだ。何心配するな。お前には私が教えられることは全て教えてある。何をやらされるにしても、周りの奴らがとんでもない間抜けに見えるぐらい簡単だ。
Well, that's one way of looking at it.
飯の食い方、銃の撃ち方、女の抱き方まで教えてやったんだ。
How to fuck women.
あと
Important.
一人でやれるな、ユージ。
We will definitely be using that out in the field. Yeah, I don't really dislike the idea of going back to school anyway.
よし。じゃあ行くか。
Huh? You're coming to Asako?
ま、一応保護者だからな。アメリカまではついて行ってやるよ。
What about work?
問題ない。ハンティングスクールのインストラクターの仕事をもう見つけてある。
Please tell me JB isn't tagging along too. Considering my age, it seemed a little excessive for Asako to follow me over to my new school, but fortunately, that wasn't really what she had in mind. There was a perfectly good reason she was coming along with me. Specifically, I wouldn't have been permitted to leave the country without her. She wasn't actually being overprotective, in other words. It was just a matter of dealing with the red tape. That same day, the two of us headed to Atsugi Air Base and boarded a transport plane that flew us to the States. Once we landed, a multi-step journey by car and ferry brought us to San Diego, California. Hell yeah. You know, someday I'd like to go there. I live in California, so I can really go to any of those sweet spots. At this point, Asako told me I'd be going the rest of the way alone. She proceeded to walk off with a wave of her hand, leaving me standing there without so much as a suitcase. It was a little disconcerting. She'd only handed me two things, a small hand-drawn map and my orders to report for training. Apart from that, all I had were the clothes on my back and the wallet in my pocket. Studying the map, I found that my designated meeting point was a good 12 kilometers away. Jesus Christ. And although it was only spring, the San Diego sun was glaring down fiercely. Well, that sounds like California. Not right now, actually. I mean, it's not spring yet, but it will be eventually. But California is really well known for that nice heat. The obvious choice was to take a taxi or something. But unfortunately, my financial situation didn't allow for that. At least I still had some leeway in terms of time. For lack of any better options, I started hiking down the road with my map in one hand. Eventually, as I approached the location indicated on my map, I began to notice a number of people who were clearly headed to the same destination. Some were dragging carts full of baggage, clutching letters like mine and looking nervously around the area. And others were squatting down on the bare earth, puffing away at cigarettes with scowls on their faces. There were even small groups of people who seemed to know each other, talking about nothing in particular. From all appearances, Uncle Sam's school seemed to accept quite a range of students. 30 minutes or so before the designated time, a single bus pulled up and stopped next to our group. There were already a number of people seated inside. It was probably going around like a garbage truck, collecting students who'd been called to various locations. A few seconds after it stopped, the doors of the bus swung open, and a man stepped down to stand in front of it. He was wearing a blue outfit that resembled a prison guard's uniform. After a brief glance around the area, he proceeded to bellow at us at the top of his lungs. That made my eyes shake. Jesus Christ. Some people flinched and lined up immediately. Those were the more innocent ones. Most hadn't quite come to terms with their new position in the world and walked over to the bus with a resentful sluggishness. Did they think expressing their displeasure was going to make things any better for them? They weren't much different from kids in Aso's school in that respect. The familiarity of it all was actually a little reassuring. How would that be reassuring? When I presented my orders to the man in front of the entrance to the bus, he flipped through the contents of the envelope briefly, then glared down at me. Do I need something other than than that envelope? I mean, we don't own much here. Alright. I didn't know that's what a bus's horn sounded like. Just throwing that out there. After everyone boarded, we drove around picking up groups waiting at various other locations, but none of them were any better than the guys I was with. Inside that bus, there were two main topics of conversations. Where are you from? What did you pull to end up here? The hierarchy was mainly determined by your hometown and the number of illegal things you'd done there. A lot like Aso's school in that respect too. From what I overheard, the bus was full of former criminals, car thieves, convenience store robbers, drug dealers, even a few sex offenders. I really didn't want to have anyone strike up a conversation with me, so I decided to pretend I was asleep. But that didn't stop a certain black man from reaching over and forcefully grabbing hold of my shoulder. Wow, black man, you are one good-looking person. I feel like this is a character that's actually going to be here in the story, because he's actually got like a little picture here. Like, I feel like this is a significant character, I should say. And apparently we're Chinese. It honestly hurt. Maybe he wanted to show off the power of his grip. Maybe just didn't know how to control his own strength. Either way, it was a serious nuisance. That said, I couldn't ignore him or answer him with some half-assed lie. It would just make things even more difficult down the road. I'd learned that much in Aso's school. A simple and honest answer was usually best. Killed both my parents. Wow. That said, you have to know when to take a hint. Wait a minute. So, this guy is obviously an American. Like, he grew up in America, let's just say that. Because he basically called Yuuji Chinese. So, he's calling him an Asian, basically, just in a more discriminating way. So, how are they talking? Like, does Yuuji know English? Well, no, then he would be speaking English. Like, wait, does this man know Japanese, but I don't know. I'm really confused of, like, what the language is here. Where's the language barrier? That said, you have to know when to take a hint. Haha, of course not. Just a joke. Still calling us Chinese. I'm just really confused of, like, their languages and all that, and how they're even communicating. As a general rule, thugs only attack those weaker than themselves. You only get one life, and it's over if you lose the wrong fight. There aren't many bullies stupid enough to go picking fights with people stronger than they are. Naturally, that means there's nothing people like that hate more than someone they can't size up properly. I guess I fell into that category. After that brief conversation, nobody else spoke to me for the rest of the ride. Ooh, this place is interesting looking. I don't think we're in the middle of nowhere because there's buildings in the background. All in all, I think we spent a good 2 hours bumping around in that bus. When it finally reached our destination, we were greeted by a surprisingly impressive gate, like something you might see in front of a more normal school. The grounds inside were lush with green. A blatantly military building, best described as a plain white lump of concrete, was visible from the entrance. Still, it was nicer looking than I'd expected. Seemed like they probably covered up the grime with a fresh coat of paint every few years. Well, I guess it's military time or whatever. It would have helped if we knew where the gym even was. For the time being, since I didn't have any luggage to worry about, I jumped down from the bus and took off running in the direction the man had pointed. This was true in Osso school as well, but in the military, the fundamental rule is run whenever you're taking more than 3 steps. After running about 200 meters in the direction of the white building, a semi-cylindrical structure came into view at the other end of a massive athletic field. Predictably, it was also painted white. Normally, they might have held an impressive enlistment ceremony in there, but low-quality recruits like us apparently didn't warrant anything so fancy. Once we got to the gym, they immediately split us up by gender. They then confiscated every last one of our personal belongings. That included our wallets, our cell phones, and the clothes on our backs. Good thing Yuuji didn't bring shit. I don't know why that bus driver was like, or whoever the man was so like keen on our luggage here, because I mean we're gonna have to give it all up. What's the point? In other words, they had us standing there completely naked. Something of a rude welcome, but it was too late for regrets now. I almost said regrets because I'm always making that stupid joke. After lining us up in rows, the instructors handed out a medical examination form and had us write our names at the top. Of course, our names were already printed on the top of the form, so I suppose they were trying to identify anyone who was completely illiterate. Carrying over that flimsy piece of paper, we filed into stations where nurses in white clothing were waiting, answered questions about our medical history, and then shuffled over to whatever line they told us to wait in next. They tested our eyesight, gave us all sorts of vaccinations, and pushed their stamps down on our forms over and over again. At the end, they even checked us for I don't even know what that is. Dangerous disease. This involved an old man grabbing my dick, poking around in my pubic hair, yanking on my balls, and taking a careful look at my asshole. By the end, it was starting to get seriously humiliating. But then they abruptly announced I was done and pointed me to a machine nearby. I lined up the arrows and slipped my form into the slot. A moment later, it popped back out with a barcode printed on the top. After following a series of duct tape arrows across the floor, I finally exchanged my form for a single pair of underwear. Holy shit, what a process, dude, what the hell? That was a significant improvement over being naked, so I found myself breathing a sigh of relief. But then they sat me down, threw a white sheet around my neck, and shaved off my hair like a farmer shearing sheep. Well, that's how it is in military school, isn't it? Like, don't you have to everyone basically starts out as equal, you know? Everyone's gonna start out as a weakling, as like a base, basically. As angry complaints echoed across the gym, I walked across the floor, rubbing my newly cropped head, and accepted my next present, a top-loading duffel bag made from white canvas. The board at the bottom was about 40. Wait, did I read that right? Hold on. and accepted my next a top-loading duffel bag made from white can. Okay, I was a little confused there. The board at the bottom was about 40 centimeters per side. The length of the bag was maybe 140. It looked a bit like something Santa Claus might carry, but rather than toys, we'd fill it with government-issued goods. We all lined up, waiting our turns to receive our clothing. Apart from the fact that we were half naked, it resembled lunchtime at a busy cafeteria. The black man who'd spoke to me on the bus happened to be right in front of me. I wasn't sure who the people behind the long desks at the head of the line were. Maybe older students or recent graduates. Whatever the case, they treated the rookies in front of them with fairly obvious contempt.
靴のサイズは28センチ。それじゃわからん。US インチで言え。10インチだ。なら 8.5 インチだ。持っていけ。おい、文句は履いてから言え。ほら、次のやつ。足のサイズは
10 inches.
随分とでか足だな、おちびちゃんよ。
I'm counting my socks and lining. Just hand them over, will you?
お前懲罰の出戻りか。まあいい。ほら、8インチをくれてやる。
So they're intentionally giving us the smaller sizes. Unless Yuuji actually accounted for that.
いいか、支給された服や靴のサイズが合わないやつは他のやつと交換しろ。それでも合わないというやつは体の方を服に合わせろ。いいな。むちゃくちゃ言うぜ。
That's the military for you, right? Just buy new ones if those don't really fit. I glanced down at the goods I'd just been handed. Most of them were clearly used, rather than new. Just like in Oslo's school, they were probably reissuing us clothing and shoes returned by recent graduates. In that case, they'd presumably allow us to buy our own gear as well. If you don't want to get athlete's foot or jock itch, I'd recommend picking up some new shoes and underwear. Good question. Far as I know, they usually pay trainees with tickets instead of a salary. We'll probably be able to exchange those for clothes or snacks.
なんだよお前、やけに詳しいな。軍にいた経験でもあるのか。
No, I was taken in by a soldier as a kid, that's all.
またジョークか。
Yeah, you catch on quick.
変なやつだぜ。
First, they issued us boots and a pair of indoor leather shoes. After that came 2 sets of Type 1 and Type 2 working uniforms, 2 sets of working clothes, 1 jumpsuit, 3 long-sleeve shirts, 3 short-sleeve shirts, 8 pairs of socks, 2 BDU battle dress uniforms, 2 caps and round cans, 1 running suit, and 2 pairs of sweatshirts and sweatpants for use as sleepwear. Holy shit, they actually give a lot. By the time we finished cramming all that in, there wasn't room for anything else. They had us smack the bottom of our bags against the floor to forcibly compress it all. They packed a few bathroom goods like towels and toothbrushes into the space that created, capped everything off with a helmet, and then finally tied the bag's drawstrings tight. By this point, the thing must have weighed a good 20 to 30 kilos. Almost felt like we were carrying a body bag.
よし、貴様ら、全員並べ。今から認識票と名前のゴム印を配る。名前を呼ばれたやつから受け取りに来い。いいかクズども、認識票は迷子札だ。1枚は迷子にならないように首から下げとけ。余ったも1枚は足首だ。網上げ靴のコードにでも縛り付けておけ。戦場で足をどっかに落としてきても札をつけときゃ届けてもらえる。そしてもう一つはこのゴム印だ。こいつにはお前らのダサい名前と栄えある海兵隊の兵籍番号が記されている。これさえあればてめえの名前すら書けないボンクラでも問題ない。ここでは飯を食うにもハンコがいる。なくすんじゃねえぞ。
Drill instructors are more or less the same anywhere you go. Yeah, rude as fuck. The general message is you're trash. They verbally abuse you and call everything you do a fuck up. Helps keep the recruits humble and discourages them from trying anything stupid. The instructor glared fiercely at us as he called out our names and handed out our tags, zeroing in on the problem kids who tried or who'd need a little help breaking free from their worldly desires. Once we'd line up and The order our names were called, he divided us into 12 groups of 14 people each, then explained that this made a single company. The smaller groups were squads. I ended up in the 7th.
第7班、今日からここが貴様らの居室となる。掃除はもちろん、日頃の整理整頓も職務として厳しくチェックされる。怠慢が発覚すれば連帯責任となるからそのつもりでいろ。
Squad 7. Damn, dude. Naruto right there. Our living quarters were a single room, large but bleak. It contained nothing except 7 bunk beds and a locker for each of us. Inside the lockers were blankets and a pillow tied up in a tight roll. Normally, we'd be storing our canvas bags in the bottom half of the locker to keep our belongings secure. There was also a shelf for the storage of rifles, but it was empty for the moment. Well, we are sticking with this guy. He's someone that's significant to the story. It's obvious. What, you again?
おい、それは俺のセリフだ。バスが同じだったやつはベッドまで同じらしいな。俺が下でお前が上だぜ、チャイニーズ。
I'm Japanese, actually.
似たようなもんだろ。お前、名前は？
I don't understand how they're communicating then. What language is this? Yuuji. Kazami Yuuji.
ユージェンイか。まるで女みたいな名前だな。
Not Eugene, you dumbass. I said Yuuji, okay? Did you go deaf listening to too much loud music?
言うじゃねえか。間違っちゃいねえわな。俺はダニエル。ダニエル・ボーンだ。よろしくね。ダチはみんなダニーって呼ぶぜ。
Good to meet you, Bone.
お前、黒人を知ってるな。いきなりダチ面しやがったらぶっ飛ばしてるぜ。オーケー、ダニーでいいぞ、ショーティー。
Shorty?
お前ら日本人の名前は発音が面倒でいけねえや。他にお前よりチビはいねえし、おチビで十分だろ。
His name's Yuuji. How is that hard to whatever. Fine, whatever. Asako had taught me a few tricks for getting along in the military. Don't talk about your past until someone asks you. As a general rule, try not to do anything that stands out. Don't make enemies if you can possibly help it. Don't disobey orders. Don't try anything stupid. In other words, things should go smoothly as long as you keep quiet, keep your head down, and do what you're told. Show off or get greedy, and you'll land yourself in hot water. I've been trying to respect those rules so far, but for some reason, this guy took an interest in me anyway. Oh god, really zooming in on him. Daniel Bone, born in Arizona, nicknamed Danny. Guy was pretty much the personification of US-style juvenile crime. Stole a car at 13, robbed a convenience store at 15, landing himself in prison, got paroled at 17. When he was nabbed for another car theft during his probation period, they gave him the choice between heading back to prison or joining the Navy. He went for the latter. That's what Danny said, at least. Later on, when his younger sister came to visit, she told me most of his stories were a load of bull. Sounded like he was actually just a delinquent who hung around with a bunch of bikers. Not that it really matters, I guess. We'd come here on the same bus, landed in the same squad, and even found ourselves sharing living quarters. So it wasn't exactly a surprise when they ended up pairing us off as buddies. The two of us were considered a single combat unit. In other words, if Danny screwed up, I'd get punished for it too. Can't say I was particularly happy about getting teamed up with some bald punk from Arizona, but in the words of our squad leader, if your partner fucks up, that means you fucked up. If I didn't want to be punished, I'd just have to demonstrate some competent leadership. Speaking of the squad leader, typically, that position was held by an NCO, like a sergeant or corporal, but Squad 7 had an actual officer in charge. This is something I only heard about later, but Squad number 7 was also known as the Problem Child Squad, where the instructors dumped all the recruits whose files indicated they warranted special attention. The leader of our squad, accordingly, was a legendary monster of an instructor known as Captain... Agnes Garrett? Agnes, whatever, a living embodiment of our beloved America and its fearsome strength. And on the very first day of training, the lovely Captain Garrett addressed us thusly. Oh, it's a woman. How do I pronounce your first name?
貧乏農家の次男か三男坊で体は丈夫だが頭は空っぽ。何をやらせてもどんくさいロバかラクダのような間抜けばかりだ。俺は違うというやつは手を挙げろ。おい、そこの貴様、お前は私の見解に不満がありそうだな。貴様はアイダホの今野郎じゃないのか。
Idaho potato fucker?
だったらお前は家でテレビゲームばかりやってるクソナードか、こっそりとママの化粧品で遊んでるところ親父に見つかった間抜けなオカマ野郎だ。
Holy shit!
バカでグズでトンマで飯を食うことだけは一丁前。そしてお前らは必ず飯に文句をつける。何様のつもりだ、社会のクズめ。
Jesus Christ. You know, as bad as this seems, it's probably worse IRL. Having suddenly begun to bellow at us, she proceeded to slap the face of a man in the front row for no apparent reason.
顔がムカつくぞ貴様。どうせ言っても貴様のにやけ面は治らんだろ。私が顔を変えてやる。
It was completely insane. The knees of the man who she'd slapped were visibly shaking. I don't think he was scared or angry. His brain was probably just rattling around inside his skull. You underestimated the power of Captain Garrett's slaps at your peril. She had a way of loosely splaying her fingers so they'd whip around your face with incredible force. One good smack could knock a grown man to his knees. It was obvious she delivered a hell of a lot of punishment in her time.
変席番号 I9029 番。
Oh, that's us? Yes, ma'am. Surprised to hear my own ID number called out, I reflexively straightened my posture as I responded. Good thing Asuko told us how to deal with women. Captain Garrett strode powerfully toward me, her boots slapping loudly against the pavement, with a grin on her face that said, "There you are." Her cheerful laughter sounded more than a little sinister.
そうか、貴様が9029、朝子草壁の弟子だな。
Yes, ma'am.
嬉しいぞ。私は貴様の師匠と同期だ。
Oh no.
あの女には散々世話になったからな。よし、歓迎してやる。歯を食いしばれ。
Yes, ma'am. The instant I responded, her hand hit my left cheek. The world went dark. Stars burst violently against the blackness. There was a stabbing sense of pain in the back of my ears, and my knees nearly gave out under me. I managed to brace my legs so I wouldn't fall, but I couldn't help trembling. As a high-pitched ringing echoed in my ears, I slowly became conscious of a burning sense of heat in my cheek. Only then did my vision finally return.
よし、貴様は特別に私が直接可愛がってやる。感謝しろ。
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Everyone else in the squad had standard 5-digit ID numbers. Only I had a special 4-digit number, indicating I was on loan from overseas. I'd figured that might make me stand out a little, and I was resigned to getting some unwanted attention from the other members of my group as a result. That said, I hadn't exactly expected to be the target of a personal grudge, much less one that had nothing to do with me. Alright, well, I think that's where we'll end it. We're pretty much out of time. So, we're still in the cocoon of Caprice 10. We're going to school. And oh boy, I'm sure this is going to be a fun time. But I'm pretty sure at this point, at this point in time, nothing can still go wrong. But we still have a lot of story to go. And I feel like some crazy shit will eventually come up. I just have no idea when. So, stay tuned, guys. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a like. If you'd like to see more of the Labyrinth of Grisaia, please subscribe. And I'll catch you all next time.